What I love about Mrs. May is because she is so positive and she is so kind.
She's one of the most generous people I've known, the nicest person I know. Everything about her is just great.
She's really sweet and she can understand if you're like telling her something like about like your feelings or something, like she can understand, and like she's really patient and she loves Taylor Swift.
And people sing with her too.
She always makes learning fun for us and she's very kind. She like always makes these like fun activities for us.
She helps us whenever we need help.
When I'm in class, I feel really happy. You have a very kind heart and you're really beautiful.
We love you, Miss May!
Those were second grade students from Butts Road Primary who happen to be students of our guest on this episode. Welcome to Amplified, the Chesapeake Public Schools podcast.
Chesapeake Schools is located in the Hampton Roads area of southeastern Virginia. We serve 40,000 students in 45 schools and 3 centers. This podcast is designed to tell the stories behind our story and to introduce and celebrate the people and programs that make us one of the premier school districts in Virginia.
Hey everyone, this is Matt Graham here with
Richie Babb. And you know, Matt, we are celebrating, it's May, and we're celebrating a lot of things. But one of the things we're celebrating is Teacher Appreciation.
That's right. May 6th through May 10th is Teacher Appreciation Week. Weren't you a teacher?
I was. Weren't you a teacher?
I was. I was a teacher.
I don't think we're being celebrated, though.
No, it's all about the current teachers.
It's all about the people out there in the field, in the classroom, boots on the ground.
That's right. Boots on the ground,
Right.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So today we brought in an exceptional teacher. We brought in our district-wide Teacher of the Year, Alyssa May. And we also want to make sure to give a huge shout out and a token of appreciation to all of our teachers.
Yeah, you know, Matt, we really would be great if we could talk to every single teacher out there.
Right.
But that's a long show. So talking to Alyssa May today is our way really of celebrating all of our teachers. You know, our premise is the stories behind our story, and every teacher in every classroom has a story, and they are the stories behind our story. Well, welcome to Amplified, the Chesapeake Public Schools podcast. I'm Richie Babb here with
Matt Graham.
And we are thrilled to be here today with the inaugural, very first amplifier,
Yeah.
who is our now what we're calling our fandom.
Yes.
At the suggestion of this guest. I was excited about it anyway, but when this guest came in, the energy that she exudes, it just, you're going to love this episode.
Right.
So you stick right there.
Lights up the room.
Right, lights up the room. And that person is Alyssa May, our 2023-24 Teacher of the Year, overall Teacher of the Year from Butts Road Primary. And she teaches second grade. Alyssa, welcome on the program.
Thank you so much. I am a longtime listener, first-time caller. I love the Amplified podcast. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. Wow.
Yeah.
You know, we may have to shut it down after this because I'm not sure it's going to get any better.
You peaked.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about District Teacher of the Year. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
What was that like? And also, what's your favorite moment in being Teacher of the Year? What's your favorite thing that's happened as a result of that?
Yeah, so being there at the ceremony, first of all, they do an amazing job just making it so special for the people who are nominated and who are there that I was just in awe the whole time. And then you have some time before we go out on the stage and, you know, get recognized. And I got to know the other people who were there, and you kind of get to chat and talk a little bit about who's from what school and get to know them. And just talking to them, I'm like, okay, it's been a good run. This has been fun, but like these people are amazing.
Yeah.
And they've been doing this for so long and they have so much experience that I totally did not think I had a shot. But it was quite shocking for sure to be called. And I just remember the support of the people around me, the other Teacher of the Year nominees, and so many people from my school and my family showed up for me that definitely was such a special moment. I kind of blacked out a little bit as it was happening, but it just really, it's one of those moments that'll live rent-free in your brain forever.
Rent-free. I love it. So now give us a little background on yourself. As you know, being an amplifier, we like to start getting to know our guests. So tell us about yourself. Where are you from? Where did you go to college? That kind of stuff.
Yeah. I was born and raised in central New Jersey. I'm a Jersey girl through and through. And then I went to college at JMU. And when I was at JMU, I met my now husband. And he's from Texas, so neither of us are from Virginia originally. We kind of adopted the state of Virginia as our home. And
that's a good move.
Yeah, you know what? It's been treating me pretty well.
Yeah. I would say.
Like it so far. So after college, we moved to the Washington, D.C. area, and I taught in Fairfax County for about 4 years.
Okay.
Had an amazing experience there. And then we moved to Norfolk in February of 2021. I was so lucky to get a job at Butts Row Primary in the middle of the year. I always call it that it was like fate, because a teacher was leaving second grade special education inclusion position because her husband was in the military. Mm-hmm. That was what I had taught in Fairfax, and finding a job in the middle of the year is so crazy.
Yeah.
That it was just serendipitous that it happened that way.
Nice vocabulary too, by the way.
Thank you.
Of course. It's teacher of the year.
Right.
I mean,
but she teaches second graders. That's not on their vocabulary list, Matt.
Listen, we got to teach them sometime.
Well, that's true. That's right. Exactly.
Word of the week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and I've lived here ever since, and I've really enjoyed it.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah. So, Alyssa, you stated your passion for teaching was ignited by the influence of great teachers during your school days. Mm-hmm. So, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. I was so lucky growing up. I feel like I just had the most amazing teachers, and I don't feel like I was always the easiest student. I had a lot of anxiety around going to school. I had a lot of nervousness. I was a real perfectionist, and it just every day for me was a struggle to be at school because I just wanted to do so well, and I put so much pressure on myself. And it was when my teachers made learning not feel like a task or a checklist and made it an experience and fun that I was able to feel like free at school, free of those chains of anxiety. So 2 of my favorite teachers growing up were Miss Orlando, 5th grade, Miss Wildman, 2nd grade. And I just can even to this day recall those things that they did that made me feel like we were in an experience. We weren't in school. We were doing something magical. And that really is what I always strive to create for my students. I always use the word magic because it just like lifted those chains off of me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Dr. Galford, your principal, who was my actual 5th grade teacher. Did you know that?
Way.
Did you know that? She was my 5th grade teacher.
That's why you're so smart.
Yeah. Okay. Richie might say something different.
I wouldn't say it.
And we taught together at Greenbrier Middle School for some time. Yeah, we did. Yes. She's awesome. But she said that you have a natural talent for teaching. Can you tell us like what your classroom is like? You already sort of mentioned it a little bit. I know you do some project-based learning. What's that classroom environment like?
Yeah, I really pride my classroom on kind of 2 things. I try to incorporate a lot of social emotional learning and project-based learning. And I think they really do go hand in hand. I think that, on the social emotional learning side, the social skills side, I do teach in an inclusion setting. So teaching those social skills to some of my students is just really foundational for them. And then for the gen ed students who are in there, it also gives them an opportunity to realize how to work with everybody. And that's really what real life is. We work with all different types of people every day. So I'm trying to set those foundations for them early. But I also strive to make the learning experiential for them and just every day something new and something that they can take into their real life. they're not always going to remember exactly every detail about the Powhatan Native American tribe,
Right.
but they might remember it a little better and a little stronger when they've had to build something to represent it, or just have that memory of, you know, doing that, working collaboratively and using those skills. So we try to really make it more of an experience than a sit and do. And it's definitely more student-centered. They're leading their own learning.
That's great.
Great. And, you know, I don't think about those kinds of things starting as early as second grade, but they probably need it as much or more than any other age student, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you clear up? I'm going to deviate a little bit.
Sure.
Can you clear up maybe some misconceptions out there about teaching? Like, what's the workload like?
Yeah. So one of the biggest misconceptions that I think about teaching is people say, you get out at 2 p.m. and you have summers off. Like, this is a breeze. And in some ways, we are really lucky with that. You know, in some ways, I love having that. I do have a lot of flexibilities in the summer. If I do have a doctor's appointment at 2:30 p.m., I am lucky enough that I can do that. But a lot of times, it really is more than that. So a day in my life, I get to school about 30 minutes before our bell rings. I get about 40 minutes.
So what time is that?
6:30.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when I get to school. The students, we have to clock in at 7:10 and the students get there at 7:15. So about 30 to 40 minutes to myself to find my zen.
Right.
And then we get a 40-minute planning block a day, which we're really lucky to have.
Yeah.
But we don't always get the whole time to plan what people think we're planning. We're working collaboratively, we're attending meetings, things like that. And then after school, I work really hard personally to not take work home with me.
Right.
So I'm lucky enough, just the point I'm in my life, I don't have children. I work for like 2 to 3 hours a day after school, and then I leave it.
Right.
I very rarely take my Chromebook home. I just leave it plugged in my desk because it'll be there tomorrow. But another beautiful thing about teaching is you do have that flexibility.
Right.
If you have to leave at 2:30 to take care of your children, you can take that work home with you.
So then you're in the building till 5 or 6 o'clock.
At times.
Sometimes, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you do other things as well. For like, what are some of your other responsibilities? Because I know you're not just teaching, right? You're like an MTSS coach.
Yes, I'm an MTSS coach. I'm the grade level chair. I am the environment committee chair. I'm probably missing some other thing that I signed
Wow.
up for and
Those
forgot
other
about.
duties as assigned.
just so people know, tell us what an MTSS chair is.
Yeah. So MTSS stands for Multi-Tiered Systems of Support, and it's basically interventions and ways to help all students, tiers 1, 2, and 3, in academics, behavior, and attendance. So just helping the teachers and the staff make sure that we're addressing the needs of all students.
So you talk about people say, oh, you get summers off. How do you spend your summers?
Oh, yeah. I love summer. It's my favorite season. I say definitely a mix of work and play. I still do work over the summer. I actually work for the district. I do curriculum writing for the social studies department. And that's definitely something I'm really passionate about. I really enjoy doing that. In the past 2 summers, I have also taught for the enrichment program for summer school. And I've had a lot of fun with that. You get a lot of creativity with the planning with that. It's really, really rewarding. I also have attended different meetings and conferences for the district throughout the summer. So you always have work a little bit on your plate in the summer, but being a teacher is really rewarding for the fact that you do get some free time in the summer. So I spend a lot of time at the beach, a lot of reading. I go on walks and I visit my niece and nephew a lot. They are super darling. They are 3 and 5. Hi, Goldie. Hi, Redford. They're
They're
listening.
amplifiers too.
They are totally amplifiers. But something I always like to point out about teaching is people say, oh, you only work 10 months out of the year. I kind of think that we are doing a 12-month job in a 10-month period.
Right.
Yeah, that's well said. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the word rewarding, and you talked about having that time in the summer, but I'm quite sure that's not your primary reason for teaching. What is rewarding? I mean, what are other things that are rewarding for you in your job?
I would say the most rewarding thing is the social piece of it, especially the age that I teach. I think that they're really starting to learn how to navigate themselves and other people. And seeing them form friendships, understand what conflict is and how to try to work through it and solve it, learning those foundational social skills. Just watching that growth from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, I see so much change in them. And I feel like I leave them like little citizens of the world. Like they're ready to really interact with one another. They have confidence. And that, that is a greater lesson than anything I could teach them. So being able to send them off with that.
Wow.
And on this other side, though, what is maybe the toughest part of teaching?
That is a good question. I would say 2 things. Definitely the personal piece. Like there are some students who you really personally worry about and carry with you.
Right.
And you sit there and you just think, are they eating dinner? Like, are their basic needs being met? And that keeps me up at night for sure.
Yeah.
And the other piece is a little on a smaller scale. There are so many decisions teachers make in a day. I think I read somewhere it's like 1,500 in a day. And they're little things like, yes, you can go to the bathroom. No, you're not getting water right now. Actually, we're going to do this side of the sheet instead of that sheet. Things like that, that I wake up often in the middle of the night like, oh, I totally forgot to tell that student they could go to the nurse or something like that. So little things fall through the cracks.
Yeah.
Right.
What would you say to someone that's interested in education, right? They're thinking, hey, is this the career path I want to go? What would you tell them?
Yeah. I think I would tell them, obviously, do it.
Right. Just do it like Nike.
Just go.
Just do it.
Just do it, yeah. Well, maybe not in every case. There may be some people you would say, oh,
maybe I would vet them
Maybe
first.
not. Maybe not.
I would say do it, but only if you really love it.
Right.
It is really what you make of it. If it's a job that you want to be just your job, where you work a 9 to 5 and you go in, go out, work your contract hours and clock out, you could realistically do that, but it probably wouldn't be really fun for you. It probably wouldn't be really fulfilling for the kids.
Yeah.
Right.
So if it's something you want to do, absolutely do it, but you have to be committed to doing it right and giving it your all.
And that's true for like any job, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like
Right.
seriously,
Right.
like that's just good advice all around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I was an English teacher and I love stories. Do you have any stories that reflect what teaching's like or how it's rewarding?
Yeah.
Great.
Of course. Well, a day in the life, I mean, it really is probably what people expect. The things that come out of my mouth as a 2nd grade teacher are just things that I'm like, I never thought that collection of words would go together, such as don't do karate in the bathroom. That's one of my favorite lines.
But that's very good advice.
Yes.
But useful across aspects of life, in case you needed that reminder.
No doubt.
That's something that I know is going to happen with my son.
No doubt.
I guarantee
No doubt.
Right. Yes. But her Taekwondo instructor did tell her she needed to practice more.
Well,
so I was up against a battle there. So yes, I have things like that every day, just in the middle of me teaching, raising their hand. Did you know Chick-fil-A makes really good mac and cheese? Yes, I did know. Thank you so much.
yeah.
Yes. But thank you for letting me know is my favorite line. Thank you for letting me know. Yes.
I'm going to use that.
Yes.
I think there's a lot of instances where I could use that.
Yes.
Yeah.
My elbow hurts. Thank you so much for letting me know.
Yeah. Right.
But I really think something magical about 2nd graders is they are so super thoughtful. Like they hang on to things that you have told them once 10 months ago and will bring that back up and make you feel so special. And as we grow up, I think that might be a quality we lose a little bit. I, at the beginning of the year, mentioned I'm a Swiftie, huge Swiftie, big Taylor Swift fan. Yep. Taylor, if you're listening.
You watched the Super Bowl for Swiftie?
I watched
Kelsey?
the Super Bowl for everyone to have fun. I hoped everyone have fun, but I'm so glad that Travis Kelce won, and I hope that him and Taylor Swift get married and live a happy, beautiful life together. I'm sorry.
But that is such a nice wish for you. I mean,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's what you're thinking.
Yeah,
I know.
well.
But I mentioned that I like Taylor Swift at the beginning of the year, and I'll bring her up once in a while in a lesson, give an example of something. And for Christmas this year, one of my kids drew me the most detailed picture of me and Taylor Swift. And
Sweet.
it's me. Hi, I'm the teacher. It's me.
Mm-hmm.
They're so creative. They're so thoughtful. And those little things that you tell them, they bring back up. So I love how they listen and make you feel so special.
That's awesome. Now, you said you were in Fairfax for 4 years. How long have you been in Chesapeake?
About 3.5.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So where do you see yourself in 10 years from now?
I don't ever see myself leaving education. I really just think this is my passion and where I belong.
Good for us.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's
Yeah,
very
please
sweet.
don't leave.
But I would like to maybe one day shift into more of a curriculum development role. I've done work, as I said, with the social studies department in curriculum writing, and I've just loved that. I love making learning experiential for students. And in my curriculum writing, I've gotten to share that with other educators. And I feel like that's where I've made so much impact. Now, not just my 23 students are getting to do that hands-on learning. Now, all the students in second grade in Chesapeake are getting to do that learning. And that to me is just so cool.
Yeah.
So something along those lines is kind of where I see my future.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I got to tell you, it has been an absolute pleasure to talk to you. Your energy, your optimism is infective. And I feel like I've caught it, actually, since you've been sitting here. But thank you so much, and we wish you the best. And your second grade, I hope your second grade kids and their families realize how lucky they are.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Go Amplified.